This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 13, verse 14. And it shall be as the chased roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one into his own land.
Yeah, in that day, everybody's gonna turn to his own people, man. Everybody's gonna be with his own people. There ain't gonna be no niggas hand in hand with the so-called white man in that day, right? Because the reason why drugs is in the hood is because the so-called white man, okay? The reason why there's gangs is because families are broken up, all right? And you got these dudes out here that walk around looking for father figures and they end up joining gangs. That's what happened, man. The so-called white man is the problem and the plague for everything, man. He's the reason why you tribes gotta go to banquets and stuff to eat, man. He's the reason why you gotta live on food stamps. He's the reason why you gotta have the most crappiest job, man. All right? He's the one running society, man. Okay? Starting with the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Oppenheimers, the ones y'all don't know about. Okay? The banking elites, the ones that live out of America. All right? Living kingly lives. Okay?
Like I said this, you look surprised. We didn't say that all white people were like that. The brother just made it clear. He made a clear distinction about the banking families. Right, but get this first. There's no such thing as white people. There's no such thing as black people. Okay? Like, for example, this right here is black. None of us are black. We're dark skinned. We're different shades of brown. Okay? As far as white, this right here on the board is white. You're not white. Okay, those are plays on words.
I'm Caucasian.
But dude, nah, wait, just answer this question.
Answer the question.
No. We'll tell you, but do you know what the word Caucasian means? Yes or no?
You don't have to be afraid to say no. If you don't know something, it's better. If somebody don't know something, you're smarter to say I don't know than to try to make up something.
No, as far as I knew, Caucasian means white.
Nah. The word Caucasian comes from the Georgia mountains, the Caucasus Mountains in Georgia, Russia. Okay, that's where predominantly the race of the so-called white people come from. Okay, at one point they were living in the Caucasus Mountains in Georgia, Russia. That's why a lot of y'all are considered Caucasian. Okay? But that's a location, though. That's not a nationality. That's not a heritage. Like everything the brother's speaking and that I'm reading on is coming out the Bible. All right, this is a scripture right quick. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn.
Let me ask you a question. If you look at the so-called Negro and Latino, Native American in America, are they rejoicing?
There's a lot that
Hold on. We gotta get to that. I don't think you heard it.
Proverbs 29 and 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
I'm gonna ask you again. Do you think the so-called Negroes and Latinos and Native Americans are rejoicing?
Again, I think a lot of them are. It all depends on your mind frame.
Well, do you? Hold on.
Because if you go to a church,
hold on. So
you
wait,
hear.
let's look
I've been to plenty of black churches where there's been plenty of black people rejoicing and saying hallelujah and saying their prayers to God.
I'm talking about outside of church. What are we talking about as a whole? Who has the highest poverty rate in America? So-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, and Native American Indians. Who's on food stamps the most? So-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, so-called Native American. Who's living in the no. Who's living in the ghetto? So-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, so-called American Indians. Who has the most single rates as far as no marriages? So-called Negroes, so-called Latinos. We on every statistic there is in America because of so-called white people. Who else is it to blame on? Who the hell else did this? Who the hell else put us in slavery? I want to know who the hell else put us in slavery. Because the only people I seen put us in slavery is you so-called white people.
Okay, I get that point.
All right, so who else is causing havoc on us now? It's nobody but so-called white people. When you at work, they got jobs now that try to get you to cut your beards and stuff off so you can work at a job. That's basically trying to defraud you of your manhood. And they already know that so-called Negroes like to grow their beards now. When dudes get jobs, what they gotta do? Cut off their beard, defraud their manhood. Let me give you a story. I'll give you a story so we won't just keep it on the so-called Negro tip. My woman is so-called Honduran. That's what they know in this place. She's Honduran. She went to an interview with her curly afro, and she's so-called Latino. Went there with a curly afro. You know what the Edomite told her? That hairstyle is not acceptable. I can't give you a job. Wait till you come back. You know how many times our people hear that? And you wonder why the so-called black woman hate herself? Because so-called white women do shit like that on a regular. So-called white men do stuff like that on a regular. That happens every day. And the only way that's going to stop is by America being destroyed and by our people getting deliverance from the Lord. The so-called white man not going to deliver our people because every time he made a treaty with us, he broke it. Every time. Every treaty that was made with the so-called Native American Indians was broken. You got the Sioux Indians over there in North Dakota. They over there fighting so a gas line don't pollute their water. And what is the so-called white man doing? Arresting them and still building a pipeline. Because the so-called white man don't care about nobody but himself. He don't even care about his own people. Bring it up.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 20. He hath put forth his hand against such as be at peace with them. He hath broken his covenant.
He broke his covenant. He broke his brotherly covenant. Because once we were brothers and sisters, but the so-called white man broke that covenant a long time ago. Read that again from the beginning.
Psalms chapter 55, verse 20. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with them.
Yeah, he's put forth his hands at those that be at peace with him. When the so-called white man came to the Taino Indians, did they attack him? You know anything about history? All right, so when the so-called white man went to so-called Puerto Rico, because the word Puerto Rico means port rich. When he went down there to the Taino Indians, Taino means good. That's how they got the name Taino, good people. When the so-called white man went down there, he attacked them and slaughtered them down to 500. When the so-called white man went over there to Haiti, he attacked the so-called Haitians. That's where you go into the history of the Haitian rebellion. You got the so-called white man that took the bulk of the so-called Negroes from West Africa and took them down into Brazil. That's why you got a lot of so-called Negroes in Brazil that speak Spanish. You got the so-called white man that went over there to the Aztec nation, a guy named Cortez, and he took one of their women out of their tribe, pretend like he wanted to be with her, told them that they were coming in peace, and what happened? He attacked. What happened when the so-called white man was in the Wounded Knee with the so-called Native American Indians? They waved the white surrender flag, and what he do? Attack. That's what the so-called white man is. He's a thief, he's a devil, he's a demon, and he's a murderer. And he's gonna pay for that.
This is verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
Yeah, when the so-called white man came down on our people, his words were smoother than butter. He didn't come with no manly shit like, yo, I'm coming to take your land, take your women, and take everything you got. He said, yo, I'm coming over here to steal everything you got. That's what the so-called white man did, okay? Read.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart.
Oh, war was in his heart. Give me Genesis 27 and 41.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 27, verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing.
Yeah, because this so-called white man, he hates you Negroes, so-called Negroes and Latinos and natives for a reason, man. Because we the best at everything. We dominate in everything. Every sport, every cooking, everything we do, we dominate in everything, all right? That's why the so-called white man hates you so-called Negroes, because you dominate everything. Who's the best basketball player? So-called Negroes. Who's the best runner? So-called Negroes, all right? Who's the best soccer player? So-called Latinos, all right? Our people dominate in everything they do.
Okay,
all right?
What's your question now?
What question you have?
Do you have any white friends? Or
No,
any
hell no, I don't have no damn Edomite friends. I don't want no damn so-called white people as my friend.
So then, you could not be friends with a person like me.
Hell no, I can't.
Even
be no
if you
friend
were to
with
get to know me.
Hell no, hell no. To me, all of y'all are devils. Y'all been devils since Rome. Y'all been devils since Greece. You all been devils. Listen, ever since you so-called white people been on the planet Earth, you've been raising havoc on everybody. What y'all doing over there in the Middle East? You blowing up innocent people.
How are you gonna
You all are a bunch of devils, and you all gonna pay for it. It ain't nothing to say, cause y'all gonna pay for everything y'all done did.
But how are you gonna go
listen,
blame
Liz,
every
listen,
single
listen,
white
there's
person,
nothing,
such
because
as
where
me.
was you
How
white
you
people
gonna
at
go,
when
how
we
you
was
gonna
getting
go
our
and blame
backs
me?
beat in?
How you gonna go
Where
and
was
blame
you
me for
so-called
what
white
other
people
white
at
people
when
did?
we was getting our backs beat in?
Still, how you
Where was
gonna
you
go
all
and blame
at
me
when we was
for what
getting
other
our
white
backs
people
beat
did?
in? Read the scripture.
No,
This
you
is
know what?
Ecclesiastes
I do
chapter
not
12,
want to. I do
verse 10.
not want to listen.
Never trust thine
anymore
enemy
what you want
for
to say.
like
Never
You don't
trust
want to
thy
listen
enemy.
to
This is
me.
what happened when you trust in the
You guys
so-called
are
white man.
foolish.
You get your back beat in. That's what happened when you trust in the so-called
Because
white
not all
man.
white
All
men
right?
are the same.
That's why Trayvon